Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review Studio, and welcome back to another installment of the Nosferatu 3D printed resin bust. If you saw my first video, I showed you the raw form of this kit. It was printed by NY3D Creations, and now through the end of December, if you go to his site, I put a discount code in the description below, and it's good till the end of the year, the end of 2024. So I did some sanding and some prepping of this kit. It did not need much. A little sanding here and there, and I primed it with my black SEM primer. So that's ready to go. I also sealed it with a matte finish of the Krylon matte clear coat to seal it. And primarily I'm going to start with working on his head and hands first. Same thing here. I sealed him. I filled in the drain hole that was in his mouth, and just got all the support tabs sanded down and cleared away. I also took and I shortened the stem here so it would fit in the torso better, and it does. Much better fit now there. And that's how that looks all the way around. And his hands have been sanded also. There were quite a few little support tabs on those. Made sure I got that all smoothed down, and it's ready to go. So I'll be painting this live on my YouTube channel. If you didn't watch it, it's available in the live tab up above. Click on the live tab in my channel and you'll see it there. You'll see us all, me and the guys, painting theirs. I think we got a mummy being painted, a couple of these being done, and I have a few more I want to paint along, but they're not going to be done live. But that's what he looks like, and he is ready to go. So stand by, I will be back and show you my progress. And here he is all assembled there without the base. The base will be painted separately. And welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and voice over the video now because I was filming during the live feed and had to take the sound out. But here's my paint process, and I'm using the Pro Acryl Dark Ivory initially. And here I just show you my process on how I mix my paints. I do add different things to the paint here, and I'm pouring a little bit of the color into the cup there. No specific amount. And I'm going to add flow improver because I do live in the Southwest. It's very dry here. I don't want my needle to get dried up. So a couple of drops of that. And I also add here the Vallejo thinner. 8 to 10 drops. I don't want it real thick. I want it kind of translucent. Mix it up here real good. He was a lot of fun to paint. And pour it in my Patriot 105 airbrush, around 12 psi, and it looks a lot thicker than what it really is. And I do have a MAC valve I can adjust on the air hose there to bring down my pressure even more if I want to. And you can see here, I sped up the video a little bit to move us forward here in the painting process. But you get the idea on what the painting process looks like. Fantastic there. Like I said, I had a lot of fun painting him. And this was all done during the live painting that we do with The Way of the Dragon with Gilbert Mondragon and the rest of the guys there. So this is basically laying down his base color. And to speed it along, I took the hair dryer and dried the paint out, and that's what he looks like up against the bust there. Now I mix in the Reaper Vampiric Skin color into the color cup. Same process, adding flow improver and the thinner. And this will be the last time I show you that process for now on in the video here. You already see the color mixed up, but same thing all the way through. Same airbrush here. I do switch up airbrushes, and I'll show you that here in a second. A little bit later there. And very thin flow. So this is giving me that creepy flesh color of the vampire. And it has a little bit of a green tint to it. Greenish blue tint. You really can't see it in the video. But these are really cool colors. That paint set I used for this is really nice. And working on the hands next. Same fashion here with the colors and such. Very light misting coats here, but it works. Both hands were done. And moving on. Next color that goes down is going to be my shadow colors. Already mixed, put it in the airbrush once again. Same airbrush. Badger 105 Patriot. I'm going to shoot from below where all the shadows would be. And you'll see that here. With just a basic washout of the color cup every time I change colors. No need to tear down the airbrush and tear it back up. Just clean your color out and put the new color in. Using water primarily to clean the cup. But you can see I'm spraying from below, giving the shadow effect with that. Very subtle, but it works. And the same process will work with the hands. Spraying from underneath, making it darker a little bit on the hands, in between the fingers a bit. This time I change airbrushes. I want to have a finer spray pattern, so I use the Extreme Patriot 105 with a fine needle, and that's so I can get between the fingers and on the hands, little shadowing on the hands for the tendons and all that on top. So that's why I wanted to get real close with that. Cut down my pressure on the MAC valve here so I can go real thin, just like that. And proceed to paint the shadows on the hands. Very good airbrush for this. The Sotar 2020 is very good for that also. This is basically a Sotar 2020, but this was fun. So the pressure was turned down on my MAC valve. And for some reason the color changed there, but that's, I don't know what happened there. It's kind of weird with the video cameras what they do here, but you get the idea. Same thing around on the head, highlighting some of the shaded areas on the head, which really wouldn't be seen after it's mounted to the torso. But there you go, a view of that. Very subtle. And a couple of photographs of what it looks like, what the hands look like. And moving on. Here I go ahead and mix the highlights, and I'm going to be adding Moldy Skin to the vampire shadow, and that worked out very good there too. And I wanted to add a little more shadowing here, so this wasn't the highlights like I thought it was. It is the more shadowing, but with that moldy skin added. But it worked out really good, I thought. I saw other paint-ups where the guys used more of flesh tones for this. There's nothing wrong with that. We have no idea what his true skin color was, because this movie from 1922 was a silent film. It was all in black and white, no color photography whatsoever. If you do see color out there, it's all colorized, so it's whatever the person making that color photo decided to do with that photo. But we really don't know his true color. He could have been just all flesh tone with some cinematic makeup on him for the cameras during the time, because it's all black and white. But here's a colorized photo right there. And then added another color, which was ghoul skin. So there's 3 different colors going on there in that cup. Layers and layers of colors, once again shooting from underneath. And I think I went ahead and just did an overall spray from a distance, not real close, real light, real thin paint here, but that's what that looks like. And moving on again. Finally, our highlight colors. So the vampiric highlights is used here, mixed the same way as before, very thin here. Back to the Patriot 105 airbrush, and painting from above, shooting down to give us the highlights that we want. And that worked pretty good. A lot of this was experimentation for me. I've never used these colors before, but they worked. Much of the painting here was done the same as a video I did earlier showing you guys how to do basic flesh tone painting, and I'll put a link down below. But if you didn't watch that video, it's very informative on how to paint flesh tones. Well, that's what I'm doing here. I'm doing a vampire flesh tone, but I'm using different colors for that. But it works very well. Of course, doing the hands here, and a couple of photos here, or one photo of the finished vampire, but that's what he looks like with the bust. Just to see how the colors look against that, I did paint his clothes, his jacket, a dark brown, the Pro Acryl dark brown I used for that, and I highlighted the jacket. There's a close-up of his face. And I did do the color speckling. I used all these colors that I'm going to be showing you to speckle the paint, using a paintbrush to layer it on, and then I used the makeup sponge to take it off. So I showed you that in my flesh tone video, which I talked about previously here. I'll put a link down below for that to show you how I did all that. I did use the green. I've never used that before for him because I thought he needed more of a green tone, and it worked. It looked very good. And of course later on I apply oils to him. I do the blue veins with that blue Citadel color that I just showed you. That was painted on with a brush, the blue veins. So it all worked out. I didn't show you everything with this. It would be a very long video. But if you want, let me know what you'd like to see that I didn't demonstrate in this video, and I will look at that in the comments and do that for you with the next videos up and coming that I do. But like I said, I did not show everything. I did layer on a lot of oils onto him, and some pastels also. The oils were mainly for all the weathering and all the cracks in the skin and all that. I used oils for that, and I did not show that in this video, but I was very pleased with him. Also with the base, I did not show you my process with the base. I got that from Gilbert Mondragon. He has a video on how to do the base and the granite and all that for the base. And I'll go ahead and put a link down below to Gilbert's video on how to do the base. It was very easy to do. But I talked about that previously, so that's about it. And we'll proceed. Head over to Boyd Crompton's Memorial Group build. But here you go. And I am back with Count Orlok Nosferatu, and I have completed him. I apologize, I did not show everything that I did when I painted this and built this up, but you did see a big part of the painting process in the beginning of this video. I did do 3-layer colors, actually 4 layers of colors. I did the red, yellows, blues, and greens over his skin tone, and then I did go in there with some oils to, I mean, everything around his eyes and most of his shading is done with oils. So that's, you know, takes a little bit of practice in doing that. And then I did paint his jacket with Pro Acryl. It's a dark brown, I believe. I did his nails with oils, and his eyes are actually done with decals. Evolution X decals, they're fantastic. It's the first time I've used them. They take a little bit of practice with using. They are fragile. I didn't think that they'd be as fragile, but they are fragile. And I went in there, and I'll show you this in a little bit, but I went into the iris, and the iris was green. Around the edge of it was green, and I wanted the edge to be brown, so I went in and I painted those. So, you know, this is Count Orlok. He is complete. And I used the marble effect for his stand. I got that from Gilbert Mondragon, and I'll put a link down below to his video for this on how to do marbling the fast and easy way. But basically I used a dryer sheet to do that. So that's what that looks like. Let's get a closer view here. I looked at many different paint-ups of Count Orlok on the internet and YouTube videos and such, and everybody is different. I wanted to give him more of a ghostly look, and as you saw in my videos previously, I used the Reaper Bones colors, and I used the Ghost and Goblins, the vampire colors that are provided with that, and I'm pleased with it. I definitely am pleased with it. Same with the hands. I did go in there and I did some shading a little bit with some pan pastels, some purples and some raw umber and burnt umber colors. But there you go. That is Count Orlok. Layers and layers went on with this, and Give you a close-up of the base. Pro-Acryl bronze. No, that's copper. Copper for the nameplate there. And of course, this is DiklichArt. However you pronounce that. I'm not going to go into that, but DiklichArt, she does a fantastic job with her sculpts. She did I have a couple more of her busts. One is the Frankenstein and the other is the Mummy, and I'll be showing those videos here real soon. Anyway, Count Orlok is completed. Nosferatu, and this was for the HobbyLink International Boyd Crompton 2024 Halloween group build. Thank you all for supporting my channel. Smash that like button if you like my content, and please subscribe. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.